In part 2 of his Round Australia adventure, Malcolm Douglas explored the Northern Territory wetlands. Then headed west to the Ord irrigation scheme and fished remote waterways. He visited the amazing Bungle Bungle, then travelled through the West Kimberley to the friendly, bustling town of Broome. He moved on to Marble Bar, the hottest spot in Australia, where modern-day prospectors still strike it lucky.
Yeah, 1 minute the course.
Malcolm meets up with Doris Mitchell, a local who prefers the traditional Aboriginal method of finding gold and tin. She uses a piece of shaped metal called a yandy dish.
Oh, you got all the big ones up here now.
Yeah. That's how it works.
Doris separates tin particles from the dirt, and flecks of gold are a bonus.
Any gold there?
Yeah, I've got some
Oh,
gold.
look, here's a little, what's this? This gold here?
Yeah.
Hey?
Yeah.
Oh, that's pretty good. Hey, look at this. Little tiny bit here, eh? Can I lift it up?
Yeah.
Look at that. Hey? Another bit. There's another bit here, eh? Look. Hey?
Yeah.
That's gold, isn't it?
Yes, that's gold.
Yeah, what do you got there? Rubbish.
It looked like a little bit of gold in the stone too, but that's belongs to the tin. I got it somewhere in the tin.
Yeah, it looks like a little speck in there, eh?
Yeah, it does. Does it? It's gold?
Oh, yeah, keep going. We might find another bit.
The black specks are tin, and when prices were high, all the local women could be found out in the bush yandying for the tin.
And there's still a lot of prospectors around Marble Bar,
around
aren't there?
about. Still a lot of, a few of them round about, not too much, not the older ones, and then I've been working here.
Still young people coming from south, aren't there?
Yeah, yes. When we first come here, we never ever looked at gold. Well, I wouldn't have used to worry about gold, and then all of a sudden. But I sort of work the tin myself.
You like the tin?
I sort of work the tin.
And if you find a piece of gold...
Oh, if I find a gold, well, that's good luck to myself.
That's good luck, eh?
Yeah.
Malcolm continues his journey along the dusty road to Wittenoom, a town condemned to die. The hotel's trading license revoked, the doors are locked, and the staff are gone. When the pub went out of business, the last of the regulars lowered the flag to half-mast. The town was built in 1947 to house the workers mining blue asbestos in the nearby ranges. Today, many of those former residents are dying from asbestos-related diseases, and Wittenoom is a ghost town. Wittenoom's the gateway to the rugged Hamersley Ranges, and Malcolm heads into spectacular, sheer-sided chasms. The road winds through groves of ghost gums, dwarfed beneath the towering terraced cliffs. Side tracks lead to some of the most vividly coloured gorges in Australia. Geologists believe that around 2,500 million years ago, all this lay at the bottom of the ocean. A dramatic drop in sea level exposed the land, and millions of years of erosion gouged out deep ravines. Many minerals, predominantly iron, have created a kaleidoscope of colour. In the arid climate, the river rarely flows, and picturesque permanent waterholes lie deep in the chasms. Spinifex, with its long, spiky leaves, thrives where other grasses perish. Here in Western Australia, goannas are called bungarras, the long, forked tongue flicking the air senses food. In this barren land, they grow fat on birds' eggs, small mammals and reptiles, insects and carrion. These formidable lizards will not attack humans unless there's no other avenue of escape. Leaving the Hamersleys, Malcolm heads back to the wild west coast near Carnarvon, a hauntingly beautiful stretch just off the main highway. But it's also a dangerous place where many a reckless fisherman's been swept out to sea by a huge killer wave. Sensational blowholes have made this area famous. The swell rolling across the Indian Ocean is funneled into passages, scoured out of the reef, and every 12 seconds, plumes of spray erupt with awesome ferocity. Filmed with a telephoto lens, an optical illusion gives the impression that Malcolm's standing close to the edge. North of the blowholes, an access track winds past some of the most stunning coastal scenery Malcolm has ever seen. In Cuvier Bay lies the wreck of a huge cargo ship. The Korean Star was preparing to take on board a load of salt for Japan, when during the night, just after the ship's ballast of water had been pumped overboard, a late-season cyclone hit. Without weight in the hull, the empty ship was blown across the bay and onto the rocks, where her wreckage is a popular fishing spot and local tourist attraction. On Perrin Peninsula is the small town of Monkey Mia, now famous as the first place in the world where wild bottlenose dolphins came in to frolic with humans. Before the dolphins arrived, Monkey Mia barely rated a mention on the tourist maps. Then some wild dolphins came in for scraps, thrown to them by fishermen. And before long, the Monkey Mia phenomenon had become one of the world's great natural tourist attractions.
Okay, what's this dolphin's name?
With so many visitors, feeding is strictly regulated. The pod is only fed when they swim near the beach. There's no set feeding time, and each dolphin is given no more than a third of its daily requirements. This ensures that the mammals retain the desire to hunt and do not become dependent on humans. Rangers begin feeding when the hovercraft bringing tourists from Carnarvon arrives. Pelicans and cormorants are fed up on the beach, away from the water. The birds are aggressive feeders and would dominate the gentle dolphins. Strict records are kept of the amount of fish consumed by each individual, and if a dolphin returns later in the day for more, it will not be fed.
We've all seen the dolphins of Monkey Mia on television. We've seen them in magazines. We've seen them written up by the press all over the world. But there's nothing quite like being here to witness this magic spectacle. And I really recommend, if you're ever in Western Australia, make sure you make the trip to Monkey Mia to see these dolphins, because it really is a wonderful sight.
Some of the dolphins are more friendly than others, and this one heads straight for Malcolm. Limited physical contact is allowed, and for Malcolm, who spends half his life in the bush, this really is a memorable experience.
there's not many of those sort of adventure travel-log type films being made in Europe. Well, they can't. They can't make them, they've got no space. Now, I noticed the dolphin actually came up to me and pushed against my leg and just lay there. Is that normal behaviour?
If they like what they see, they will come and they're saying hello to you.
Yeah.
All you have to remember is not to reach over the head to repay the favour. That's what makes them nervous.
Yeah.
But they will come, they will never hurt you if they come to say hello to you, providing you do the right thing.
Now, whereabouts should you touch a dolphin?
Ideally, you will only touch a dolphin as it's passing you along the side. Nowhere near the head. You don't touch anything that sticks out. We have just found by watching what you can get away with and you can't. We used to say, touch them underneath the chin. Too many people got bitten, so we had to cut that one out.
And they will bite?
They bite probably is the wrong word, but if they feel that there is a problem, they will take the offending hand. I think that's the operative word, is take. But they have something like 50 conical teeth that slope back for holding fish. So your reflex action is what leaves the skin behind.
Now, you certainly don't want any people to come in here and feed them, do you?
Certainly not. It's most important. At this stage, they certainly don't need us. If feeding was done willy-nilly, we could end up with having fat cat dolphins that rely upon handouts. And this is not what people are coming to see. These dolphins are choosing to come in. Of the 6 regular dolphins, 4 of them often refuse fish anyway. This is the way we like to keep them.
And when the dolphins disperse, the tourists go too, until the following day when the extraordinary ritual of dolphin-human contact again takes place. Thriving here at Hamlin Pool are the Earth's oldest life forms. The small, domed mounds are living colonies of algae, literally billions of years old. Called stromatolites, they've fascinated people since their discovery in the 1950s. Over 3,500 million years ago, life on Earth began in these shallow, salty pools. The algae grew and multiplied, feeding on sediment carried in by the waves. It coated the sedimentary particles with mucus, slowly building these shapes. And the process still goes on today. Further south along the coastal plain, the sea breezes blow through a strange lunar landscape. This is the Pinnacles Desert in the Nambung National Park, where thousands of limestone pillars rise out of the shifting golden sands. Millions of years ago, the lime-rich sands were blown inland, forming high, mobile dunes. Rain leached the limestone out, and it settled into a solid substrate. Over the years, the upper layer of sand has been blown away, exposing the spires. The Pinnacles Desert has become one of the most popular tourist attractions close to Perth. Continuing south, Malcolm drives through the tallest hardwood forests in the world and on towards the rugged Stirling Ranges. There's an ominous change in the weather. High on the mountain, a blizzard rages. The road stops at the base of Bluff Knoll, the tallest peak, towering over 1,000 metres above sea level. On the coldest November day on record, Malcolm prepares to climb to the top. A 4-hour return trip up an exceptionally steep track.
Mid-November in the Stirling Ranges in southwest of Western Australia. You wouldn't believe it, would you? We come down here and we end up in a blizzard. We've got just a couple of minutes of sun, and that's why we've been able to get the camera out. It's a bit of a shock to the system after 45 degrees up at Marble Bar not so long ago. We've climbed to the top and it really is spectacular. It's really worth doing.
Far below stretches the road to the car park. For a few minutes, the mist clears and Malcolm's able to appreciate the view from the summit. But when the blizzard rolls in again, it's a race to get off the mountain. The following day, Malcolm arrives in the famous gold mining town of Kalgoorlie. From here on, the road runs east towards Sydney. The track beside the Transcontinental Railway line is one of the roughest in Australia. Out here, it's so flat, the line has no bends in it for 478 kilometres, making it the longest straight stretch of railway line in the world. The track's maintained by tough individuals who live in small communities along the line. The men travel long distances and camp out for days on the job. The Fettler's basic equipment has changed little over the years. It's still a shovel, a pick and a crowbar. A recent innovation is a set of dolly wheels attached to a four-wheel drive vehicle. Wayne and his offsider have one of the most responsible jobs. They replace any fatigued rail and defective welds. The trouble spots are located by a team moving along the line with an X-ray machine. It's Wayne's job to repair any damage they find and to replace the suspect sections. A variety of repairs is carried out. In this case, the sections are pulled together, ready for welding. A sand mould is set in place, and the rails preheated. The mixture of aluminium powder and iron oxide in the crucibles ignited, and within seconds, the temperature exceeds 2000 degrees Celsius, triggering an aluminothermic reaction. A plug melts, and the molten iron flows into the mould and fuses the rail.
Okay. Want to walk him down there? Who wants what?
As it cools, the slag's chipped away. These men work out here all year round. It's freezing cold in winter, incredibly hot in summer.
How many welds have you got to do in the next few months?
Well, quite a few. Well, at the moment,
100, 1,000 or?
well, the railways, well, the way we're working at the moment, they're expecting, if we're welding all day, every day, they're expecting around 5, 6 welds a day.
Yeah.
So that's, so I work 9 days on, 4 days off. So if you're going along, you know, they're expecting around 40, 50 welds a week, really.
It's an endless job, isn't it?
It is, because the rail's always being fatigued with all the amount of traffic that it has over it, because of the large trains and everything, and there is quite a lot of traffic coming across from the eastern seaboard to the west.
Now, the reason you're waiting now is for a train, is that right?
Yes, that's correct. We have a train, and even though we're welding, we cut the main line each time a train's approaching. We're supposed to make the train, or the track, safe for the train, so when it gets here, we'll let him through at, say, a speed anywhere between 10 to 30 kilometres an hour on our work site. But sort of they do like us to have the train to be able to go straight through at a low speed rather than hold the train up.
Right. Now, how much longer before the train comes?
The train should be here, well, roughly should just about be here, I'd say. Shouldn't be too far away at all.
It would take over 100 semi-trailers to move this amount of freight by road. The train passes and the men are soon back at work on their never-ending job. Mirages dance along the line and trains shimmer their way across the plain. This freight train running from Sydney to Perth is even longer than the previous one. Trees are scarce on the vast Nullarbor, so the crows nest on top of the next best thing, up a telegraph pole. With new communications technology, these lines are now obsolete. Few vehicles pass this way, and many of the rough tracks are not even marked on maps. Sharp limestone boulders slow the vehicle to a crawl.
And people try and tell me that there's no more adventure travelling around Australia. Well, we're now 500 kilometres east of Kalgoorlie. We're still following the railway line along. It's a pretty rough track. Very few people do it, but I'm loving it. The only problem is this limestone. You've got to be dodging through it all the time. And at the moment, we're only averaging around about 30 to 40 kilometres per hour.
All next day, the only other vehicle sighted is a passing rail motor, with its small team continuing their endless inspection of the track. Near the state border, Malcolm leaves the transcontinental line and swings down towards the Great Australian Bight. After 200 kilometres, the dirt meets the bitumen, and a shingleback lizard scrambles out of the way. At Eucla, golden sand drifts in from the sea. In the 1870s, the original telegraph station was constructed to link East and West Australia, and now its ruins lie buried. In 1894, rabbits were released here, and the dunes were soon destabilised. Cats caught in the back streets of Port Adelaide were introduced to kill the rabbits. Today, the rabbits and cats breed unchecked, and the whole coastal ecosystem has drastically changed. For millions of years, the edge of the Nullarbor has been pounded and eroded by the might of the Southern Ocean. It stretches 200 kilometres to form the longest unbroken cliff line in the world. Dolphins feeding close to the rocks are one of the many marine species often sighted from the cliffs. "700 kilometres further east at Point Labatt is mainland Australia's only colony of sea lions. The small headland with its surrounding reef and waters has been gazetted a marine conservation park to protect these rare sea creatures. An observation deck high on the cliff top gives visitors a perfect view of the colony. There are now less than 5,000 sea lions in Australian waters, and the other colonies are all on offshore islands. Sea lions, more mobile on land than seals, are easily identified by their small external ear flaps. After being savagely exploited in the 19th century, their numbers are slowly increasing. Malcolm follows the Great Ocean Road to London Bridge in Victoria. In 1990, the span connecting the island to the mainland collapsed. Continually eroded by the ocean's swell, this archway too will one day fall. The sea and the wind continue their attack on another of Victoria's famous attractions, the 12 Apostles. Once part of the mainland cliff face, the pillars will eventually crumble to the battering of the elements. There are in fact 8 rock formations, some now visible only at low tide. The twisting Great Ocean Road leads to Melbourne along the edge of the Otway Ranges. Locked away between the mountains and the sea are small coastal towns, like the famous holiday resort of Lorne. Still keen to complete his round Australia odyssey using dirt roads wherever possible, Malcolm leaves the highway in Victoria's East Gippsland and follows a rarely used timber jinker track through the snowy mountains to New South Wales. It's now almost Christmas, and Australia's highest peaks are still covered with snow. After several days in the high country, Malcolm reaches the bitumen again near one of Australia's oldest ski resorts, Charlotte's Pass. For Malcolm, the drive through Kosciuszko National Park is a fitting end to his round Australia journey. Eight hours later, he's back in Sydney, already planning his next adventure in the outback.